the mutual shaping of networking through social media. In this video, I'm going to be speaking about the effect new media and especially social networking has had and will have on global society. I want to talk about how society is changing the internet, but also how it's making the internet form around what society needs. This is the mutual shaping of the two that I have been exploring. The next couple of references will be from the Handbook of New Media by L.A. Leveroux and Sonia Livingston in 2006. Chapter 12 by Leveroux from page 248, The Social Shaping of Technology. See reference 1. Technological determinism is an inadequate description or explanation of technological innovation and development, or of social change more generally. See reference 2. Science finds, industry applies, man conforms. See reference 3. For me, Rydell is saying that opposed to there being a mutual shaping, people work themselves around technology and not the other way around. I feel as though he is ignoring the fact that technology is made for people in the first place. Tech moves forward to keep up with the modern needs of our way of life, right? Well, maybe technology is always a step ahead of us and forcing us to catch up with it. Maybe having the latest tech isn't necessary, but advertising convinces us that it is, which allows it to keep on evolving because the companies that make it know that we will always chase it. This, to me, is the mutual shaping of technology and society. Technology leads, society follows. The next references you hear will all be from reference 1. This is chapter 1 by M.K. Bain from page 35, Interpersonal Life Online. As well as owning physical tech, a lot of us thrive to be involved in the latest online experiences. Social network sites, or SNS, are a huge part of people's lives. According to a study done in May 2013 by the Pew Research Center's Internet and American Life project, 72% of adults use SNS. See references 4. This stat shows the magnitude of SNS in the modern world. Is there really a need for SNS at all? There are benefits to SNS as they give us a different medium in which to meet and socialize with people. Email is, in many respects, an ideal tool for building and maintaining social relationships. See reference 5. Barron here is making the point that there are means of online communication that we're better off with than without. SNS have taken this whole concept to a level in which we can broaden our contacts in a very easy way. We can browse for a certain type of person and request them as a contact, or in some cases, just have them as a contact as we see fit. Parks and Roberts, 1998, make the point that communication through computers wasn't created to be interpersonal, but the rise of the internet has allowed it to become so social. Parks and Roberts even saw sites on the internet that were seen as less sociable as places to communicate, as they had bulletin boards and chat rooms even when email was the main means of social online interaction. See reference 6. There is certainly competition to be the main means of online networking right now. Facebook is the most used SNS with an estimated 800 million monthly users, according to its Alexa Global Traffic Rank in December 2013, which measures a site's traffic. Twitter is Facebook's closest rival in the field with its estimated 250 million monthly users. See reference 7. Facebook brings beyond world to privacy, and more specifically, what information we choose to give away about ourselves and in what situations. On Facebook, you choose how much information you give about yourself. But would we be comfortable talking to some of the people who can access our Facebook about the information on there when we are face to face? Why is it, as an introduction, things like your birthday, relationships, family members, and home location are given on Facebook, but if someone were to ask you that information in real life situation, it would seem unnecessary? Will this make us become more open to revealing information about ourselves in everyday conversation? The references you hear from this next part will be from Understanding Social Media by Sam Hinton and Larissa Jorth. Chapter 3 from page 35, Communities and Networks. See reference 8. Once the internet changed the world, now the world is changing the internet. See reference 9. Hinton and Jorth see this quote as meaning the internet is coming of age. I agree with this in the sense that our behaviour is continually moving towards using the internet to its full potential, but I think it's too early to say the internet is coming of age. Such a statement will seem trivial in years to come, when we inevitably discover more innovative ways of using the internet. The next set of references will be from The Network Society by Van Dijk. See reference 10. The world may never have been freer, but it has also never been so independent and interconnected. See reference 11. Morgan's quote has become truer with time as, of course, there has been huge growth in connectivity through the internet in the last 16 years. The more time we spend online socialising, the less time we spend offline socialising. As the internet gives us more means of communication, we use less physical communication. This is the way that the internet and how we use it affects our networking. Today, we no longer only depend on roads, electricity cables, water pipes, gas lines, sewers, post boxes, telephone wires and cable television to conduct our daily lives and manage our households. We now also need networks of electronic communication. See reference 10. To say that we depend on electronic communication cannot be disputed, as in all walks of first world life, important information is given through the internet, whether it be emails to instant messages. If you want to know the latest, as it happens, when you need to know it, you need the internet. This shows how society has shaped its communication to fit what the internet can give us. In reply, we are constantly developing the internet to make communication through it easier with continuous changes to SNS and email services. With the swift spread of satellite TV, mobile phones and the internet, developing countries such as China and India are rapidly transforming from pre-industrial societies into mass industrial societies and partly even post-industrial network societies. See reference 10. This is the perfect example of mutual shaping between the offline physical working world and the online working world. The more the internet develops and stretches across the world, the more of the world develops into a modern working society. It's exciting to see the effect the internet continues to have on our world. Sherry Turkle, see reference 12, claims that most American teenagers will choose to text as a means of communication ahead of a phone call because, as well as being cheaper, it offers them more control. The worry behind this is the theory that new media communication might continue to replace face-to-face communication until the latter ceases to be. It seems an unrealistic situation, and I think it is, but I see what Turkle is saying. We will see less and less of each other physically if our pattern of communication continues in this vein. In 1976, Short wrote the concept of social presence. See reference 13. Social presence is presence we have in different communication methods. Short used 4 things to judge our social presence: sociability, warmth, personal information, and sensitivity. He found that new media's communication couldn't give these things in a way that face-to-face communication could. There is more depth to new media communications now as we have video calls, with good picture and sound quality. This is the closest we can get to face-to-face communication through media though, and the point still stands that we can't achieve as high level of Short's 4 elements through new media communication as we can face-to-face. Daft and Lengel, however, see reference 14, have 4 different elements in which to judge the difference between the 2 communications: feedback capacity, immediate, fast, slow; channel used, audio, visual; nature of the source, personal, impersonal; and language richness, spoken, written, or body language. Of course, communication through media lacked speed in feedback capacity, visual in channel used, personality in nature of source, and body language in language richness. Zitran, see reference 15, sees networks as having 4 standard layers, which are physical wires, services, applications, and then content and social interaction. These layers are ordered in importance from the least to the most. The physical wires refer to home phones that are plugged into the mains. This is the form of phone call that is being used less and less in a mobile-led world. Services refer to the mobile operators that give us phone calls on the go. something that is still used widely. Then we have applications, which refers to mobile and computer apps/websites that give you the opportunity to communicate through them, with attractive and easy to use interfaces. We finally have content and social interaction, which is people using applications for what they are there for and even contributing with their own content. This is the biggest form of communication now. It has great flexibility as there is such a range of communication and social networking apps and websites. About 10 years ago, Robin Dunbar, see reference 16, came up with the maximum amount of relationships one person can maintain at one time. This number was 150. For me, the method he used to come to his answer was not a scientific one. He judged it on the amount of Christmas cards sent by people in the UK. Because this was before social media made networking so easy on such a large scale, Dunbar saw this as the best way to see how many people you can keep in genuine touch with, because sending cards needs a level of care due to writing them and sending them to the right addresses. Through everything I've read, I've learned that social networking is on course to continue growing until the whole world is online, communicating with one another. As the internet grows, communities around the globe are adapting to an online working world. Developing countries such as China and India are changing the way their economy works in order to get the most out of what the internet can give them, just as other countries already have. I've also learned, as we use what big technology companies give us to use, the more they will push the boundaries of technology. Instead of being content with where they are currently, people will always buy into new technologies, to feel as though they're moving forward due to necessity, even if this is not the case. Thank you.